Hello, everybody. As Mike said earlier, I'm Anne. Nice to meet you all. So I'm going to be talking to you today about everything we find under the activities menu, which is right here on the navigation bar. So that's going to be assignments, discussions, and quizzes. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about assignments first, then we're going to take about a 15-minute break, then we'll come back and do discussions, quizzes, and then the grade book. Okay? So to get started, let's go back to content. If you're somewhere else in the course, go ahead and just hit the content button. It'll take you back to the module that you had been working in. And we're going to scroll all the way down and add a new module just for the practice. And I'm going to call this the activities module. You can call it whatever you like. Once we have our new module created, we are going to create a new assignment, which is the same thing as eCollege's drop boxes. The assignment or assignment submission folder works exactly the same, just creates a place for students to turn in documents. It also creates a place for them to turn in short video and audio clips if that's something that you want from them. So to create that, we're going to use the big blue Upload and Create button. And we're going to scroll down to New Assignment and click that. We're going to scroll down here to enter a title. You can give this assignment any title you like. This is where you can make an individual or a group submission folder. If you don't have groups set up, you won't have this option. I'm just going to go with an individual submission folder for this one. And you want to put in some instructions. I'm going to use my HTML editor to make my words big and clear, easy to read. And then once I've got a title and some instructions, I'm going to hit Publish. So now you have a Dropbox or an assignment submission folder created. That's all you have to do to create the folder itself. But right now it's not tied to the gradebook. So we're going to tie it to the gradebook by scrolling down to the bottom here and coming to this assessment block. And we're going to click the words Add a Grade Item. You're going to get this little box that says Out. That's short for out of. And you want to input your points there. I always use 100 points. You can use however many points you want. And then in this drop-down menu, you'll notice there's no, well, there shouldn't be anything for you to click, right? It says no grade. So to create a grade item, which is essentially just a line in your grade book. A grade item is just like literally the line that you write the assignment name on. So to create a new grade item, we're going to click the big plus button. We're going to give our grade item the same name that we gave our assignment. That's just a best practice, makes it easy for students, makes it easy for you. Grade items can be put into categories. Categories make it easy to organize your gradebook. We're going to be looking more at gradebook organization with Brett. But for right now, we can make a category sort of on the fly while we're creating grade items. To do that, we're going to hit the new category button out beside this category drop down. So hit that link, and we're just going to give it a name. Your category can be named whatever you want. Doesn't have to be named the same thing as your assignment. I'm going to create several assignments, an assignment submission folder, a discussion, and a quiz, all to fit in the same category. You can change the weight here if you have weighting turned on in your gradebook. If that's not turned on yet, which for some of you it might not be, then you can't adjust the weight yet. But you can always adjust it later. And we're going to hit save. So now you see you have a grade item name and a category. And I want you to scroll down until you see maximum points. Where it says maximum points, you want your points to match the points that you put out here in the assessment block. So I used 100 out here, so I want it to be 100 in my grade item. If your grade item and your assignment points don't match up, then it's going to be confusing for the gradebook to try to score your assignment. Once you have points in, you can go ahead and hit the big blue Create button. And now you'll see we have points, we have a grade item name, and we can hit Save. So we have our assignment category, our grade item name, and our points down here, and that tells us that we're tied to the grade book. But just in case, we want to double check, go back up to activities and then hit assignments. If you come down here to your assignment submission folders, you'll see out beside them, there's this little icon. Some people think it looks like a key. I think it looks like a ribbon you would win at a fair. If you have this little ribbon, that means that your assignment folder is tied to the grade book. So whenever you input grades on the assignment folder side, they will translate over into the grade book. Do you guys want to see how to grade things? Yes? Okay. So you should have, in many of your sandboxes, maybe not in all of them, but there should be a submission folder where somebody submitted something. You can tell because there will be a number out in one of these columns. If we didn't get your sandbox created until you came in, then you won't have one, but you can watch me. So to access that folder, I'm just going to click on the folder name. And then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. This is all just like filtering folder contents. We don't need to do any of this. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and it's going to give me a list of students who have submitted documents for me to look at. It averages, I think, 20 students per page, and I don't think there's a way to change that as far as I've been able to find. So if you have, like me, if you have 40 students, then you'll have 2 pages of submissions.
So the little drop down at the bottom that says 20
Oh.
doesn't do it?
You know what? Very good. get a sticker.
Sorry.
No, that's good. I didn't even notice it. So, to open the assessment page, we're going to hit the name of the document itself. And that's going to open this sort of assessment and feedback area. First, it's going to give you a rendering of the document that they submitted. That is, as long as it is a document type that D2L reads. For example, D2L does not read pages documents. So if you have students that submit things from a Mac using pages, you'll have to send them back and say, hey, can you send me this in document or .doc or .docx or open office or something like that. PDF, yeah. You can download the document they submitted here with the download button. And this, this window scrolls independently. It gives you a place to put in a score, shows you what students are going to see, gives you a feedback area, and then gives you a place to add a file, record audio, or record video. So for the add a file button, what I do, I teach English 1302. And so what I do for my class is I download all their papers, mark them up in Word, attach a rubric, save them to my desktop, and then use the add a file button to re-upload what I have done so that they can download that and see all my comments. But if I wanted to, in D2L, I could record like a 5-minute audio or video clip showing, there is a 5-minute limit, so you can't do a lot, but if you have 25 students, you don't want to be doing a lot longer than 5-minute videos each anyway, right? It's a good way for you to maybe say, hey, you did a great job. It's also a good way to say maybe, hey, you need to come to my office. So this is just an option for you. Once you're done scoring the essay or assignment, you can hit at the bottom, it'll say publish. Mine says update because I've already graded this. And now my student, Drew, has a grade posted. I can hit the big back to submissions button, or if there were other students in the pile, I could use these previous and next student arrows just to move to the next one. So the workflow, some people have complained about lots of clicks. There are quite a few clicks, but once you get into the workflow, it's pretty simple and very flexible. Yes?
Is there any way to download all of the assignments at one time?
Yes. So if we go back to submissions and scroll down here, we can click this button at the top and then download. What it'll do is it'll download a zip file full of folders, and each folder has a student's name and a file number. And so I believe there is a way to re-upload all of those files at once using, I think it's add feedback files. Yeah, upload compressed file in the same format that it was downloaded. So as long as you don't change any of the file names or anything like that and you re-upload it in the same way, it'll just send it back to the students. Yeah, automatically. So that's pretty handy. If you want to take all your papers offline, grade them all at the same time, and then re-upload them, you can do that. Do you guys use Turnitin? Yes? Okay. You can also, if we go back to assignments, you can turn on Turnitin, by clicking this little drop-down menu next to the folder name and hit Edit Submission Folder. And we have Turnitin right here at the top. It's a tab all on its own. You just check it to enable Turnitin. And this More Options is all the same options you had in eCollege. You can allow learners to see their similarity scores. And you can use GradeMark, which is Turnitin's grading feature, which has like rubrics you can build out and stuff like that. So if you're used to using rubrics and you want to create like an online version, GradeMark might be a good way to do that right now. If you're already using Turnitin. You can't use GradeMark if you're not using the similarity scores. Any questions about assignments? No? Okay,